Welcome to Fundraising 101 for Community Foundations. I'm Christy Ackley, and in this short training, we'll explore what fundraising is really about beyond dollars and donations. Here are our learning objectives for this training. Feel free to pause if you need more time to read through them. But let's begin with why this work matters so deeply, especially right now, and what is fundraising all about. Here's a powerful reframe. Fundraising isn't just asking for money. It's inviting people to help shape the future of your community. As Hank Rosso once said, fundraising is the gentle art of teaching the joy of giving. And that's exactly what we do. Unlike national nonprofits or outside campaigns, community foundations keep dollars local. We help neighbors invest in each other, in our youth, in our libraries and parks, in our main streets, and in the legacy of the places we love. So let's break down a few myths right here. Fundraising isn't about pressure. It's not about shiny events or slick tactics. It's not even about money. It's about relationships. It's about connecting people to causes they care about through stories, trust, and shared purpose. Fundraising is also cyclical, not linear. That means you're never really done. Here's the donor relationship cycle. You start by identifying, who do we want to build a relationship with? You cultivate the interest in them, you invite them to events, you learn what matters to them. Then you ask when the time is right, and you invite them to give. You acknowledge them meaningfully and promptly, and then you steward them, keeping them close, showing them their impact, helping them to feel connected to your mission and to your community. Then you start all over again. You'll see this cycle repeated in our work over and over because it works. Here it is in another fashion, represented by the time and the effort that should be spent on each step in the cycle. You'll notice the most time spent is in building and maintaining relationships, or cultivation and stewardship. It's not in the finding new people or even in the actual ask. It's almost all about relationship. Isn't that a relief? Because I know you know how to do that. You've been building and maintaining relationships your whole entire life. And that's all fundraising really is. So let's zoom out. Why does this matter right now for your foundation? Because we are living through one of the largest transfers of wealth in history. I know lots of people have been talking about it. I know the Smith team has talked to you about this before, but billions of dollars are changing hands between generations. And so the big question is, will your community keep that wealth or lose it? This is your moment to help ensure that those resources stay rooted in your region. That's where endowments come in. These are forever funds, gifts that are invested and generate annual support for your work for decades to come. And don't forget, philanthropy fuels the very heart of what keeps communities vibrant, whether it's scholarships, food access, arts and culture, youth engagement, local leadership development. So you aren't just raising money, you're shaping what your community looks like now and into the future. There are three core types of fundraising that you should be familiar with. Annual giving. This includes your year-end appeals, your giving days, your events, your peer-to-peer campaigns. These gifts keep your work going year to year. Annual giving is asking for somebody to donate every single year to your mission. Major gifts are larger gifts. They're often from people who have a really strong relationship with you or with your community. And they usually fund new initiatives, maybe special projects that you've got going in your community, or maybe a named subfund underneath you. And then there's the planned gifts. These are gifts that are usually made through a donor's will, their estate plan, or their retirement assets. A planned gift really means anything that takes time to plan. So it doesn't always have to be a legacy gift. It doesn't have to be an end of life gift, but it's something that takes planning to execute. And these gifts are really important in building your long-term sustainability. And it's especially well aligned with community foundations because you're all about the long term and the planning and the intention and the legacy. No matter what size your foundation is, you can use all three. Obviously, you want to start with the annual giving because those are often smaller donations and easier to start building trust with. Then, as you continue to build that relationship, they can lead into major and planned gifts over time. Sometimes you get really lucky and a donor believes in you right from the start and they make those major or those planned gifts right away. But for the most part, the relationship cycle is going to start with a smaller gift while the donor tests you, gets to know you, and better sees how you guys are aligned. So don't feel bad when you go to that individual in your community that you're like, oh, they've got the ability to make $1 million gift and they give you $100. It's a great yes. It's a yes saying, I want to build relationship with you. So don't get discouraged by those because they can build to so much more. So what actually inspires someone to give? It really honestly comes down to three things, and probably not the three things you thought. It doesn't come down to tax incentives. It doesn't come down to a fancy event. It comes down to what most people say is, I would have given, but no one asked me. They need to feel connected. And so when someone sees how your work aligns with their values, they want to be a part of it. And then finally, they trust you. They believe their gift will be used well and they'll make a difference. So the three reasons that most people give is simply because they were asked, they were connected to your cause, or they trusted your leadership. So your job is to help them feel that their gift is useful, meaningful, and impactful. You don't have to make it fancy, just make it real. Now you might be thinking, but Christy, I'm not a professional fundraiser. That's okay. You don't have to be. Because remember what I said, fundraising is about relationships, and you've been doing that your whole life. Here's what we do need from you, though. We need you to share your stories. If you want to be impactful for your community foundation, sharing your personal stories is where it's at. Invite others into the vision of where you want to see your community go, where your board wants to see the community go, why you guys got started in the first place. And then say thank you well and often. You can start with something as simple as a thank you note or by telling someone why you care about your local foundation. Fundraising is everyone's responsibility, but more importantly, it's everyone's opportunity. So let's close with this reminder. Fundraising isn't about gimmicks, it's about building trust and inviting generosity. So start where you are. Just make one thank you call, invite one person to coffee, share one impact story with a neighbor. Because those small steps, they lead to big impact. And I'll leave you with this quote. When you ask for money, you get advice. When you ask for advice, you build a relationship. And relationships are where giving begins. Thank you for helping to grow generosity where it matters most, right here at home.